Good evening and welcome to TiVi Tuan-san News at 6. My name is Nguyen. In today's news, investigators are expected to report on the 2014 downing of MH17. Shimon Peres, former president and veteran Israeli statesman, dies at the age of 93. And South Australia is warned to brace for the strongest winds to hit the state in 50 years. To today's top story, an international team of prosecutors will report its findings on the downing of a Malaysian airliner over eastern Ukraine in 2014 at 9 a.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time. MH17 was hit by a surface-to-air missile during a flight between Amsterdam to Kuala Lumpur, killing 298 people on board, most of them Dutch citizens. The team of prosecutors from Australia, Belgium, Malaysia, the Netherlands and Ukraine are expected to identify the exact launch site of the weapon that destroyed the Boeing 777. At the time of the disaster, Ukrainian government forces were engaged in heavy fighting with pro-Russian separatists. The Malaysian airliner broke apart in mid-air, flinging wreckage over several kilometres of fields in rebel-held territory. Former Israeli president and elder statesman Shimon Peres has passed away at the age of 93. According to media reports, Peres was hospitalized in the city of Tel Aviv following a stroke 2 weeks ago. Peres was part of almost every major development from the country's founding in 1948. Over a 7-decade career, Peres served in a dozen cabinets and was twice a Labour Prime Minister. He also shared the 1994 Nobel Peace Prize with former Prime Minister Yitzhak Rabin and Palestinian leader Yasser Arafat for his role in negotiating the Oslo Accords. In other world news, the first presidential debate between US Democrat Hillary Clinton and Republican Donald Trump has broken TV debate ratings record. More than 83 million US television viewers tuned into yesterday's debate, beating the 1980 record of 80.6 million set by the Jimmy Carter-Ronald Reagan presidential debate. But the record fell short of the 100 million viewers some analysts had predicted. The TV figures did not include millions of people who watched the debate online through Twitter, Facebook and other social media, including in large groups in bars and restaurants. SpaceX founder Elon Musk has unveiled his vision to develop a massive rocket and capsule to transport large numbers of people and cargo to the planet Mars. The company chief and tech billionaire outlined his plans at the 67th Annual International Astronautical Congress in Mexico. With the ultimate goal of colonizing the planet, Musk said the first passengers to Mars could take off as soon as 2024 if the plans went off without a hitch. The rocket company is still investigating why a different rocket carrying an Israeli communication satellite blew up on a launch pad in Florida earlier this month. China has shut schools and cancelled dozens of flights as Typhoon Maggie made landfall in the southern province of Fujian, with winds of close to 120 kilometers per hour. China's official Xinhua news agency said more than 120,000 people who work close to shore or at sea have been moved by local authorities. The province says 31,700 fishing boats have been recalled to port to avoid the high winds. Typhoon Maggie killed 4 people and injured more than 520 others in Taiwan since making its way in from the Pacific on Tuesday. Chinese authorities issued their third highest severe weather warning in anticipation of the storm. To news in Vietnam. Filipino President Rodrigo Duterte is due to start his 2-day visit to Vietnam this evening. The trip comes after Duterte and Vietnamese Prime Minister Nguyen held a bilateral meeting on the sidelines of the recent ASEAN summit in Laos. Earlier this week, a spokesman for the Department of Foreign Affairs said the context of the potential discussion between the two leaders will focus on maintaining peace, security and stability in the region. This will be Duterte's first visit to Vietnam since he assumed the presidency last June. The World Bank has released a new report finding Vietnam's agriculture and overall food system are at a turning point. The 2016 Vietnam Development Report details the challenges and opportunities facing the country's agriculture sector. While the report notes Vietnam's agriculture sector has made enormous progress over the past quarter century, the sector is experiencing a low quality of growth. It adds that Vietnam needs to improve supply, quality and food safety with added value to remain competitive in the international market. According to the report, Vietnam's economy will continue to run smoothly, regardless of challenges caused by the decline of the agriculture sector in the first half of 2016. To news back in Australia, the South Australian Supreme Court has found the son of former Adelaide Crows coach Phil Walsh not guilty of murder by reason of mental incompetence. 27-year-old Cy Walsh was charged with stabbing his father 20 times at their family home in June of last year. The judge ruled that while Cy Walsh had killed his 55-year-old father, he was not criminally responsible for his crime because of his mental state. Under South Australian law, Cy Walsh will live the rest of his life under a psychiatric supervision order. Meanwhile, the Bureau of Meteorology have issued severe weather warnings in South Australia, New South Wales, Victoria and Tasmania as a vigorous cold front moves east across the country's south today. Sydney and Melbourne will avoid the brunt of the deluge, although both capital cities will experience some rainfall. South Australia, Northern Victoria and Central New South Wales can expect between 40 to 100 millimetres of rain over the next 2 days. South Australia has been warned to prepare for one of the most extreme weather systems to hit the state in about 50 years, bringing drenching rain and gale-force winds described by forecasters as a cyclone. That's all from TiVi Tuan-san News at 6. I'm Nguyen. Thanks for your company.